to the Warzone Amateur Hour podcast.
Welcome back to the Warzone Amateur Hour podcast. This is episode number 85, and this week didn't see a ton of changes in the Warzone, though we did experience a ton of changes outside the Warzone in our personal lives. So full disclosure, this is likely going to be a little briefer episode, but you always know when we'll leave you short one week, we'll fill you back up the next. So we got to preface that. With that said, let me turn to the 10InchCowboy, the newly relocated 10InchCowboy, to ask you, how was your week in this thing we call Call of Duty Warzone?
Wow, thank you for the incredibly lively and lengthy introduction. And laying out my credentials clearly. For those that haven't listened to the podcast, I am a cowboy at heart, but a Warzone player first and foremost. To be honest with you, while I say that, this week was an interesting week. I am moving locations. As Tron would say, the lady cowboy and I are moving to a new house, actually, in beautiful Southern California. And my setup is incomplete at the moment. So getting this podcast off this week was tricky, to say the least, on my behalf as well as I'm sure Tron's behalf, but still in a transitory state. Our house is in shambles. The ranch, as I like to call it, is in complete shambles. But you know I have a microphone. You know I got a what they call a boom arm. You know I have the cords to hook it up to a laptop. And you know we're coming at you live in a, I guess, theoretical sense, but also a physical sense. If you're listening to this, it's live. We don't do a lot of editing. So yes, we are making it happen this week by the hairs of our manscaped balls, as one would say. Hint, hint, coming at you with a read later on, but wonderful sponsors at Manscaped. But yes, the week was thin to say the least, but also enjoyable when I was in the Warzone. It was, honestly, I was just, because I didn't play daily like I usually do, I was grateful to be there when I was. And it was another week in which, you know, I don't know if it was last week or maybe 2 weeks ago, the days are starting to blur together in these hot summer nights, but I believe that I was still running the KGM 40, which I know at one point, for a brief moment, our friends at Warzone Loadout had put it at the meta. I don't think it currently still stands there, but you know that I'm not one to accept change, so I'm still running the KGM 40. I was also running the Type 100 with it, which was a total mistake. I've realized I hate that weapon, even though it's powerful. I can't do a 36-round mag for an SMG, unfortunately. So that's where my week was. When I was there, it was fun, but it was limited. How was your week in the Warzone, Tron?
Wow. Speaking of lengthy intros, I loved it, although quite a few repeat points from last week, but you know, some people might not listen every week. Other people need a refresher. That said, he's still running the KGM 40. For a guy that doesn't really feel too big about, you know, ranking guns, he certainly paid close attention to when that was ranked high. That said, though, speaking of meta, speaking of ranking the guns, they had a patch that went out on the 7th of July, very thin patch, as it were, on the old Warzone fucking monster Frankenstein that they've been patching together for years now. And the main thing is it fixed an issue, which first and foremost I've experienced, I believe you have, where you would start a game in the pregame and all of a sudden it would be playing the out of bounds, like meh, and the visual warning, and you had to die to reset that.
Very bummer situation when you start your game that way. And I think that, honestly, I was the first one in our group of cohorts that drop in to experience that. But yes, I believe we all have at this point.
Yeah, so, and the only solution was to die. Usually, I think it only afflicted Resurgence, unsure if it was on Caldera, so it's like, wasn't too bad, but at the same time, you usually used your first life, so you lose that self-revive, but they patched that. And then the other known thing, the other main part of this patch was they gave the NZ41 and the Blixen minor nerfs, the two tippy-top in their classes guns. Again, only minor nerfs. From what I've heard, they still remain, speaking of Warzone loadout rankings, they still remain among the top, although actually I think the Marco was slightly favored now over the Blixen, but that's where we're at in terms of the meta. And a final note, though, on the Type 100, you can't control it, you said, but I guess it is the king for SMG TTKs. But in terms of that smaller mag, it does kind of cap its potential. But that's where the meta is. Are you sticking with your KG? And I don't remember, I think MP40 you said is your short range?
No, I wanted to go back to the MP40, but I, for some reason, blindly was following the Type 100. And after this podcast recording, I may have to boot up Warzone and change it to the MP40 again. Honestly, or even the Mac 10 at this point. I for some reason, I have like this instinctual calling to the Mac 10. I don't know why that is. I haven't tried it lately, but something about it seems nice right now. Maybe because there are sometimes you find yourself in very tight quarters in the new map, and I feel like, I don't know, maybe the Mac 10, for some reason I'm feeling this like maybe it's the astral plane calling me. I don't know what's going on, but I'm feeling something from somewhere. But yes, I was with the Type 100. It's either going to be the MP40, and again, maybe I'll try out the Mac 10, but still sticking with the KGM40. Wow, the numbers in so long week.
Yes.
So many numbers, so many letters.
And combinations and
yes,
overlap.
KGM40.
There's the MP5, the MP40, the MP fucking 7.
The MP. Why can't we get some variation in the names of these weapons? But that, again, is nor here nor there, but it is with me now, so let's enter the nether region. But I will probably be running the KGM40 and either the MP40 or the Mac 10. Let me ask you this, though. It seems like there seems to be some kind of... It's not just one SMG right now that is the king, so it sounds like it's either the Blixen or the... What was the other weapon you mentioned?
The Marco
5,
5,
How can I forget? So it seems like it's one of those two, or have you transitioned to those?
I've stuck with the Type 100, but I'm tempted to go and rock this Marco after seeing it so highly regarded. And you got to know it's going to be in favor with it being like a new flavor of the Battle Pass kind of gun.
Yeah.
But it is something I have to level. But I think you're onto something with the Mac 10. I've always felt nice about that gun too. It's always felt good, like the nice, smooth, rapid fire rate. Something about it, I agree. It feels nice. And I've been finding that more frequently lately off of dead bodies that I fucking kill. And sometimes I pick them up because it's like I put them down with, ground loot weapons and
of course
upgrade from their sakes. But it always feels good. And I've won some gunfights where they were like toe to toe. And I was like, damn, kind of tempted. So I encourage you to go try that one out, report back next week, see how the Mac 10's feeling.
Have you? So you've been seeing that on bodies though. So that's, yes. I'm not... Okay. So there's something in the ether right now that I'm feeling tangentially.
Yeah, maybe something's taking a hold of you in these summer nights, as you said. Maybe it's from the 80s because that's a Cold War gun there, Black Ops. But the other final addition with this new patch was a new game mode, which was something I don't think they've ever done, which was taking a slice of the map, a very specific slice, and setting a game mode specifically there every round. And this is a new thing they're called Storage Town Clash, which is the Clash game mode, essentially like a multiplayer almost, where you're solely in the new Storage Town on Caldera. I'm guessing you didn't check that one out, but what are your thoughts on something like this?
Sounds like a multiplayer variation, no?
I mean, for leveling up like this Marco, I think it's a great option, or maybe trying to even unlock some of these other ones that we could, like the Blixen. Maybe you can get a slide kill or 3 on here. I don't know, but yeah, it definitely feels more like multiplayer, even more so than Resurgence.
Interesting, yeah, variation in gameplay mode. I wonder if they're trying to maybe integrate these very hot, wonderful, maybe nostalgic areas of maps and past maps into some kind of greater Warzone multiplayer. You know what I mean? I don't know. I've never really played multiplayer unless it's one of the free weeks, but it seems like they're trying to point in that direction, no?
Yeah, I mean, maybe they're getting us geared up here because October's on the horizon. Early in the fall there. We got some news about that too, as I'm obviously referring to Modern Warfare 2, which is going to be dropping. We got some news in terms of the beta that we're going to get to. But yeah, I mean, I think it's fair. I also think they really want people to it's just funny. Like, it seems like they got to entice people to get on fucking Caldera. I bet they made this new storage town. They expected everyone to be hyped, but then everyone's clearly way more hyped about Fortune's Keep. So they're like, all right, let's just make a game mode to get people in this new area, getting some content out there on Storage Town. I don't know.
Yeah, they're like, okay, so we did this thing. How is it working out? And the developer's like, well, to be honest, we haven't seen any change in gameplay. So then they're like, okay, well, what if we forced them to do it by introducing this game mode? And they're like, that's a great idea. Let's force them. That's what this feels like. So, yeah, I mean, I got to check it out. To be honest, I haven't checked it out. Again, crazy week, but we will be checking it out. But yeah, have you dropped in?
No, but I do want to level up some of this Marco, kind of see even if it would be possible to get something I haven't unlocked, like maybe even the Blixen, the Armaguera, although the Armaguera's kind of faded out. The Blixen's still very, very good, so maybe worth chasing, but haven't checked that out. Mostly sticking to Fortune's Keep and Rebirth Island. They're a nice kind of complementary pair, and I've been pretty happy with that.
Yeah, I will have to check it out as well. But before we get to the next topic, I got a feeling we got something to do.
That's right. Before we talk about these kind of leaks and rumors about Modern Warfare 2, we're going to take a moment to hear from our sponsors. First up is a company and a product we've mentioned before, and that is, of course, Athletic Greens and their AG1. And you might, if haven't listened before or missed one of those episodes, you might be wondering, what is this stuff, AG1? And it's one delicious scoop with it. You're going to be absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day right. It's a special blend of ingredients that supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, your recovery, focus, and aging. All of the things.
Yeah, listen, on these really hot summer nights, if you're in the northern hemisphere, you end up throwing back a couple of cocktails. And, you know, the cowboy will sometimes wake up anywhere on the ranch, inside, outside. But, you know, the first thing he's doing is going to the bathroom after drinking and getting bloated from just, you know, pure pissery, just drinking like a monster during these warm summer nights. The one thing that helps my gut is Athletic Greens. I got to tell you, the digestive system gets wrecked when you're kind of maybe off your diet more so in the summertime. So I'd highly recommend this for anybody that has, let's just say, to put it lightly, stomach issues.
Well, you know, speaking of it heating up with summer and the planet fucking heating up, Athletic Greens is a climate neutral certified company. And in 2020, they purchased carbon credits that support projects protecting old growth rainforests. So we've talked about, you know, the folks who founded it, the company, why they do right by us and, you know, the environment. So there's never been a better time now to reclaim your health. Right now, it's time for that. So if you're interested, go ahead, head over to athleticgreens.com/emerging. That is EMERGING. And you're going to go ahead with your first subscription. You're going to get a free 1-year supply of immune supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase.
Yeah. You know, as long as they're not grinding up old growth forests and then serving that in what the Athletic Green is, I am all about this. And from what we hear and what we say, that's not the case. So support your body, support your anus, and get some Athletic Greens.
They certainly are definitely not, as we said, it's high quality ingredients. Again,
not old growth forest.
Yes, less than 1 gram of sugar, no GMOs, nasty chemicals, all that. Check it out, athleticgreens.com/emerging. All right, as the cowboy mentioned, summer not only is coming, summer is here, the sun is shining, the shirts are off, and you better hope your balls are smooth. You heard that right. Our friends over at Manscaped are here to make sure your beach balls are as smooth as a Floridian sand. In summer, you're going to want to kill some cold beers and barbecues, not kill the vibe with pubes peeking out of your swim trunks. That's why Manscaped has their Performance Package 4.0 to keep the party in your pants looking crisp and refreshing all summer long. Dive headfirst into summer by joining the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped.
Whoever is writing the copy that you just read is absolutely genius. This is well-written copy. It's easy to read. It's so well done. I mean, it's just another notch on Manscaped's belt. You know, it's also kind of, they lean into the summer vibe, but listen, like, you gotta clean up you gotta clean up the landscape and let it breathe while it's hot outside. No one wants to wear a sweater when it's fucking 95 degrees outside. You know what I mean? And listen, it's just practical shit. Like, listen, they sent us the stuff that we use this stuff. I mean, this is fantastic product. I respect these guys. To be honest, I respect them more than now that they updated this copy and it's matching the summer. And your beach balls, fuck yeah, let's do it.
I don't know what you're talking about. I just spit this right off the dome here.
Oh, of course, yeah. 100%.
But that said, the Performance Package 4.0 has everything you need to prepare for that summer bod. Inside the package, you're going to get the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, the Crop Preserver ball deodorant, the Crop Reviver ball toner, the Performance Boxer briefs, and of course, a wonderful travel bag to hold all your goodies. If this interests you and you're interested in making a purchase, make sure you're going to get 20% off. And how are you going to do that? You're going to go ahead and use the code WAH, W-A-H, at manscaped.com. That's right. You're going to get 20% off and free shipping by using the code WAH at manscaped.com.
Use the code, people.
All right, well, let's move on then to the final kind of bits here. We had some leaks coming out. I started actually following with our Twitter account a leaker that's been churning out some leaks about Modern Warfare 2. As we've seen in the past, we've covered the leaks. Well, you call us fucking plumbers, you know, because we're on any leak that's out there, no matter if it's a drip or a full-on spray, you know, with the slate leak or whatever the fuck, slab. I don't know. I don't do plumbing. But anyways... first up, I had to put this top of the line here because they've been confirming, or at least saying, these are the weapons that are confirmed for Modern Warfare 2. Again, these are leaks. That's all prefaced. But one of the weapons they said is making a return for sure in Modern Warfare 2 is none other than the Pila, Cowboy.
Ooh, wait a second. Well, first I want to address, listen, I am a plumber as well as a lawyer, as well as many things that we try to reference over and over on this podcast. I would like to call myself a jack of all trades. So
yes,
before you discredit us, I actually was doing some plumbing at my new house today. So let me just put that out there. So
pumping a toilet though is one thing. All right.
Yeah. Well, work in the toilet's another, which I also do. So back to the Pila. The Pila. You know what that says to me when they say the Pila is going to be coming back? That means that there's going to be a new array of vehicles that Pila is going to be able to destroy. And you know what that means to me? Aircrafts. We're talking about a air defense mechanism. I think they revamped the Pila, and it's going to be destroying airplanes. What do you think about it?
I mean, I think, no doubt, like the Pila is an instrument of taking down vehicles specifically. But I think when it comes to Modern Warfare 2, like the multiplayer, I don't think they're going to be having vehicles like you can go get in a helicopter outside of the kill streaks, that's kind of what the Pila's appeal, no pun intended or whatever, with multiplayer, which I know you didn't do a ton of Modern Warfare multiplayer, but really the Pila in that regard is like somebody calls in an attack chopper or even a UAV and you have a Pila, you can shoot those downs. But on the flip side, I think you're absolutely right. When it comes to Warzone 2, no doubt we're going to be having air travel. I think they've even alluded to some of these things. Helicopters, maybe some transport vehicles. And it's going to give a player like the Cowboy, the player like the amateurs who are out there, who want to spoil the day, the chance to throw on the Pila, where Cowboy, I witnessed him get a quad feed with one of those back when he was a greenhorn in the Warzone.
First time, one time, only time that I ever got a quad kill. It was honest. I think that's on our YouTube channel, to be honest. Check it out. It was probably the best kill of my life. Best round of kills I've ever had.
And we've sang the praises of what these weapons can do for the game, especially having the air transport. You got to have a counter to that. I hope they bring flares and stuff back too to kind of counter the counter of the Pila. But that said, I figure you'd be hype about this news. I think it's great. I love that they're wiping the slate clean, but I also love that we're going to get some of the old favorites back.
Was the I don't believe, and correct me if I'm wrong here, we may have to Google this because it's been so long since we've had viable rocket launchers, but was the Pila a lock-on rocket?
Yes, baby.
That's right.
That's its main jam, and then it shot like straight up in the air, and then it kind of disappears, and then just goes straight down on the mother effers.
Was that? No, that wasn't the Pila. That was something else. I don't think that was the Pila that shot up. The Pila was like you'd
Strela.
aim it.
No, that was Strela was the aim and fucker. Pila is goes into the air.
No, I don't think so. I think that's something else. The Strela, I don't think had a lock-on mechanism.
No, it didn't. Yeah.
It did not. The Pila locked on, but it didn't shoot in the air. That was a different. The Pila was the one that locked on, but you'd aim right at it and it would shoot at it and it would trace and track the vehicle that you shot at. I believe. Again, sadly, I hate to report on this. It's been a long time since I've actually used a rocket launcher, but I'm pretty sure that the Pila was the one that locked on in your little like TV vision that you'd had, the old 80 TVs lock on vision, and it would follow it. I think so. And I preferred those because, you know, with the flare situation with a lock-on rocket launcher, you would rarely get it down from far away. But if you pulled that thing out and you were close and something was taking off and you shot it, it was a quad kill, baby.
Yeah, and you'd strike heart into fear into the hearts of men with that if they were flying and they got that warning. I'm going to defer to you as the expert. I think you're probably right. I know there was one of those guns where it launched like straight up, and there were some funny instances of people blowing themselves up when they would like shoot it out of a window, but there was like a roof over their head.
Oh, that's funny.
It's coming back. It's a great news for Modern Warfare. It's great news for Warzone 2. It's great news for the amateurs. So let's celebrate that. But additionally, we're all wondering, when are we going to get our hands on this game? It's only months away here in July at the time of this recording. We know there's going to be an open beta because they've been using that as a reason to pre-order the game. You get guaranteed access to that. Well, the leaker claims that there's some dates. So if you're out there, you got your little advent calendars or your journals like me and your crayons, and you want to mark this down, they're claiming that the beta is coming actually very close, surprisingly, to the release date. And they're saying that the early access, and again, that's the folks that pre-order, which may in fact be your boy Tron. And this is specifically for PlayStation, because there's an ongoing exclusive relationship between PlayStation and Call of Duty, even though they're getting bought by fucking Microsoft. But they're saying early access for PlayStation is going to be September 15th and 16th. And then that's going to transition to the open beta for PlayStation from September 17th through the 19th.
That's so close. Wow.
It's coming up, buddy.
Yeah, that's in 2 months. Wow. That's surprising. I didn't think it was going to be, holy shit, we gotta prep some podcasts.
Well, I mean, from there, the game itself's only going to be a month or so away, because then the following weekend, they're calling that weekend 1. Then weekend 2 is where it's going to open up to crossplay, where you're on PC, Xbox, you're going to get access to the beta. And the early access for those folks, which I believe you have to pre-order to get, is going to be September 22nd and 23rd. And then the open beta for all the motherfuckers who have access to the beta is looking like September 24th through the 26th, which again is a month before the actual game drops. So I don't even know if this beta is more of just getting people excited for the game or a way to like beta test it. It's up for debate, but it's coming up, buddy.
It's exciting. Very exciting. This was like a distant horizon in my mind, and now it feels like it's on the back of my eyelids. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's right in front of your face. It was on the horizons. I couldn't see it, had to squint. Now it's riding closer. You don't have to need the binoculars to see it, or the peloscope. But that said, you know, you're going to get, if you have a pre-order on PlayStation, that means you're going to get your hands on this thing before anyone else on September 15th. Is that enticing you to potentially get this game? Where are you standing on, you know, your plans for purchasing Modern Warfare 2?
When you say I have a PlayStation, obviously, but when you say get my hands on it, does that mean I have to like spend money to get this I break this down a little more for the peanut brain cowboy.
So Modern Warfare 2 is going to be the new standalone Modern Warfare game, the multiplayer game. They might bring back Shipment. It's the one you go into the things. As we know, it's going to be the basis for the new Warzone, but that's coming afterwards. So yes, you would have to purchase this. For PlayStation, it would cost you, I think, $69.99 for like the standard version. But in doing so, you would not only get access to obviously the full game itself when it releases on October 28th, but you would get guaranteed access to this early access of the beta. So you would get to play the beta 2 weekends in a row, actually, September 15th and September 22nd, all the way through the 26th. So, yes, you would have to purchase the standalone game in order to be into this pool. There's other ways, I guess, to get beta codes, but I'm not sure about that.
$69, huh? Nice. You know, I've never spent $1 on this game. And, you know, you, I think, have openly said that you may purchase this one. If you do it, I got to do it because I can't let you go in there by yourself. You know, I don't know who you're going to play with. So are you going to purchase it?
I mean, I think with the dedication we've talked about in the future of this, you know, podcast, again, this is going to be a short episode. We feel like, you know, we have so many plans and things we want to do, especially with Warzone 2 coming down the pipeline, that I think I'm obligated at this point to do it. And the other thing is, like, when Warzone 2 drops, I kind of want to be on the Sweat Lord side. Like,
wow.
I joined the Warzone scene relatively, I mean, not when it first dropped. I was like a month or two late, and I felt like I was way behind. But now, if I get Modern Warfare 2, I get like a month or 2 or 3 of grinding. That means when Warzone 2 drops, it doesn't matter like what the meta is, I'll probably have that fucking gun leveled up. I'll be able to, like, you know, stomp some Timmies maybe for a little bit, like probably a day or two. But it'll be cool as shit.
Wow. So are we going to change the name of the podcast? Is it no longer the Warzone Amateur Hour? Are we just going to call it the Warzone Hour?
Well, I'm sure, you know, as always, there will be some amateur moments, which, speaking of, I got some awesome clips ready to upload to our YouTube, one of which, you know, get an awesome stick, one of the best Semtex sticks in my life, and then immediately break my legs. So you can only imagine, while I'm grinding, getting ahead of the game, I'll still be, you know, tripping and falling and killing myself a few times.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. I'll do it if you do it. How about that?
All right. Well, it's kind of like the old pack back in the day with the two besties jumping off the pier or whatever it is. So we'll have to see. I'm not going to purchase it yet, though. I want to hear the official details of this beta. I want to see some gameplay footage, which we haven't yet got. I want to see myself in the Warzone more. I want to see us put on the calendar our next custom game and our open Q&A. So I'm going to be pushing for that. I know we've been fucking talking about it, but Cowboy's finally getting relocated. Hopefully Tron's getting some goddamn stability on his side, because we got a lot of big plans, and if it were up to us, we would be doing this full time, pumping out episodes every fucking day. But unfortunately, we got to balance the life outside of the Warzone. Am I right, Cowboy?
Yeah, let's just say between Tron and I, there's 2 babies, and let's just say I don't have any of them. So you can imagine that, yes, you can imagine, and I just did a big move. So yes, we are about to lock in, as you would say, with the Pila, and we're about to take down whatever vehicle's ahead of us.
That's right. We're ready, you know, to be on the front side, the Sweat Lord front lines here. And we love all you have been sticking along, all of us, all you in our Discord that's just remained like awesome throughout, on our YouTube, on everywhere supporting us. We love you all. We're not, you know, this is just like maybe a little timeout here where we ain't tapping out or nothing. If anything, we're getting some Gatorade and, you know, our little orange slices at halftime, and then we're going to be coming in fucking hot.
I used to live with Tron, by the way. We were roommates back in the day. This guy drank more Gatorade than anyone I've ever met in my life. The guy loves the powdered formula. He'd mix it himself all the time. Unbelievable vibes with the fucking Gatorade. But yes, you are not wrong in anything you've said.
All right, well, you got to stay hydrated out there with this heat, or if you're in the other hemisphere, you know, stay warm, whatever.
Honestly, Gatorade in the cold is good too. Frankly, I like Gatorade when it's cold out.
And if you're out there, we got room for another sponsor.
Yeah, Gatorade, hit us up, baby. Yeah.
But that is going to do it for us this week on the Warzone Amateur Hour. Although brief, so much exciting stuff happened coming down the line. We got ready to dig our teeth into some of these new guns, some of this new game mode, the Storage Town. We're excited, as we said. The beta's coming down the pipeline. Lots of new shit happening. We are on the precipice of some big things.
Big things. Big things.
So enjoy the week. Enjoy the Fortune's Keep. Enjoy this pretty stale meta. And we will talk to you next week. And as always, until then, my friends.
Good luck in the gulag.